Welcome, and thank you so much for accepting, to be on the call today for a little communication that we'd like to have with you. So as district governor, I know you have really extensive background, but I'd like to just capture a few highlights from your experiences. So as the district governor, Rotary District 3292 for 2021, you're considered as one of the outstanding trainers in Rotary. And you have numerous projects and events with Rotary Youth Leadership Awards and other service projects. And during your term, I understand that as fundraising chair, you successfully raised a record amount of $1.2 million, which was the highest amount for District 3292 ever. Apart from your involvement in Rotary, you have led several ventures as director and you hold membership of different national international associations. So today our topic would be like your leadership role and inspiration for you as a leader yourself. And during these uncertain times, how are we able to bring out our maximum best? So the floor is yours.
These sort of crisis, actually, it comes now and then, once in a lifetime. It's not for some, it's just once in a lifetime. But, crisis not only like these, not because of these natural calamities only. It happens in our personal lives also. Sometimes you have your financial crisis. People have their financial crisis. Some have their, in their office they have their staff crisis, and there's so many crises that come across throughout our life. If you're working, some have their own personal crisis also, at home and all those things. So this few things like I myself, when I started this this year, my training and all, when the time came, just at that time when I was in San Diego, this coronavirus was just starting. So we had discussed about it, but we never thought it'd be such a pandemic, like it will be like spread like like a wildfire everywhere. We never expected that. So at that time also we had not discussed anything. During our eight days of those very, very hectic, training time, they had not even told us you could be facing this sort of crisis. But when I got in here and just as I was planning to get things done, then this started to come, and then it started to worry me. Because as a Rotarian, you must be knowing trainings are so important, actually, especially for the incoming leaders of the clubs. And in Rotary, the most work, is done by whom? Is done by the clubs. So if we do not train the leaders of the club, then that whole year is not going to be like something like what you expect it to be. So there was this thing what to do, and then we had a lot of discussions, and then people started to say the only thing is you can do is virtual meetings. And we said, how can you have a training programs like virtual training programs? That's not going to be possible. So it worried me a lot, and I thought oh my God, my term and all. Then I started to discuss with other of my friends also in India. Then someone told me why don't you try this Zoom or this Google Hangout? Through that you can do all those trainings. Now we even did not have the idea at that time that in एउटा Zoom को platform मा कति जना अट्छ, त्यसलाई कसरी लिने, then we have to pay in dollars, or the dollars कसरी तिर्ने. We are not allowed to do all that, and it's not a huge amount of money. It's just $20-25 that you need to pay per month. All those things के गर्ने and also it has all these challenges and how to overcome them भनेर. But then again, we managed somehow or the other. I got my team together, a few of us, we got together, and then we managed, and then we got this Zoom Hangout. Then we started to have this training. First, we just took that 100 people's platform. Then, slowly, then, I started to get all these speakers, all our international leaders who would come and address us. And after all that thing, started to encourage people, started to come in. I guess it was because of the situation also. People did not have much at home. So, then I thought, okay, that 100 people's platform is going to be too small. So let's increase that. Again, we discussed, we went to 250, 300, and then we said, why not try a training with that? Then slowly we started to try this training. And the other challenge we had was the training like our crisis ma kasari garne. The training like our ekai choti yotai ekai din hamle whole day rakhem bhandekhi it's not going to work because people are not going to stay. So what we have to do, we have to divide that one day's training into 4 days or 5 days, 2 hours or 3 hours, so that people will not get bored. their eyes won't be tired, looking at the screen and all, So then again, I thought like, okay, let's take this challenge. There's a famous saying in English: "Cometh the hour, cometh the man." Okay, I'm not. It can be man means like will come at the person. When there is this crisis, you have to do whatever you have to do. So unless and until there is this some sort of a problem or some sort of a crisis, you don't come out with all these innovative ideas. So we thought, okay, let's try like एक दिन को training like 4 दिन गरौँ 3-3 घण्टा राखेर. So again we were scared. मान्छे आउने हुन्की भएनन् 4 दिनसम्म लगातार maybe it's going to get monotonous and all, but we said let's try it. But it started to pay. We started to like motivate people. Like, this is the time. What are you going to do at home? You should come and join these sort of meetings and all. And then we had people joining, and they started to enjoy. And then we said, okay, let's have the DTTS. Let's have the assistant governors training, and then let's have the pets. And where the pets was very successful. Then I thought then the most challenging was the DTA. Or DTA कसरी गर्ने district training assembly is like 600 700 अलिकति फर्स्ट गर्यो भनेदेखि त इन पर्सन मिटिङ गर्दाखेरि त 700 750 जना पनि पुग्न सक्छ र हामी हरेक वर्ष त स्कुलमा गइरहेको थियो because it had all that classrooms and all, and like that it had to have like all those 8 or 9 parallel sessions, all those things. So how to do about it? So we again thought of it, let's do it Manara. So we did, okay, हरेक secretary को एउटा session लियौं, chairs are session new. So that also went on to 8 days. 8 days of DTA. I think that's a record in itself. Like DTA पनि 8 दिनको भयो भनेर. So we managed. So मेरो खाली के I just want to say a few things. Like when there is crisis, first and foremost is you have to stay calm. Like I had panicked initially. I thought like अब के गरेर गर्ने यो ट्रेनिङहरु कसरी गर्ने के गर्ने. But then first thing was you have to stay calm and start thinking positive. You have to think positive because there was no other way. We had no choice. There was no way. I had like disappointments, like any disappointment. I had the RI president coming in for the president-elect training seminar. He could not come. I had the director coming for the DTA. He did not come. I had the director-elect coming for the DTTS and AGTS. He could not come. So I had the trustee, coming in for the grant management seminar. He could not come. It was so disappointing. Never had this district like, welcome RI president for its pets. It would have been for the first time. Now again, and the same president would have been coming again in December. Again, December also it's cancelled because Rotary International has said till December no one is allowed to travel. They're not going to like, refund their expenses. So all these things, so there was so many things going in my mind, kasari garne, ke garne, bhanera. Then again, like there's this famous Winston Churchill, he had said at one time, never let a crisis go to waste. When there's a crisis, don't let it go to waste. So I thought, your crisis, there's crisis of so many things. We cannot move, we cannot do this, we cannot do that. We have a deadline. We have to complete our training in such and such time. And there's so many people expecting, especially from me. Like, I know, Rajib Sita, we have that so much of expectation. So then we said, okay, stay calm, let's think positive, let's move. Then I started to try, think about, okay, it's the crisis, business so I started to reflect back on those things. So that, started bringing me all these positives. Now, when I'm saying, people may think, it was just a training, but no, it was a big challenge. How to let us, and our challenge, we have very senior people in Rotarians. So they are not all IT savvy. So that also was a challenge for us. This crisis, that was a challenge. Online तर उनीहरु आउन सक्छन् join गर्न सक्छन् के हुन्छ कसो हुन्छ they may have all this problem. Do we have to like give them a separate class? Of the separate class पनि कसरी दिने? So we had to use our assistant governors. We had to tell them like if they cannot use all this यसरी गर्नु भने. So there was a lot of planning. I'm very happy that I had a very like dedicated like my team people, my district trainer, district secretary, and all these people were like very very thing. So I thought like so I एउटा काम हुनु पर्यो, positive हुनु पर्यो हैन. Then you have to think of your past successes. That motivates you. After motivate otherwise during the crisis, if you do not motivate, there's no one to motivate you. You are the person who has to motivate your team. But as a boss, as a leader, who's going to motivate you? The only person that can motivate you is yourself. So you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, here you are, Rajib, I'm here, you are there. I need to do this. You have to have that courage to do it. You have to do this. You have to, all those things. Start thinking of okay, in the past there was this crisis. You managed to do that well. Take care of that well. So. Then start to I started to move, and then I started to take advices also. It's not that I don't take advices, but I don't stick to that only. I started to make my own decisions also, taking advices also. And I was not listening to too many of those rumors. Yeah, I know there was this friend of mine from India who called up and said, Rajib, this was a disaster when I tried to do this get a virtual, because there were only 20% or 25% attended that. And someone from America, one of the districts, but he or she also said, groups, international district governors, people post, and they said, yeah, I tried it, but only 25% of my presidents joined this meeting. I know, all those. There was in the time of crisis, but we said, okay, let's move on. You have to move. So, at the time of crisis, that courage has to be there. Like I said, come at the hour, come at the man. When I asked, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. It's like that, So you have to start thinking positively. You have to stay calm. You have to get a proper team. Right? You have to motivate the team. Because all the people in the team may not be motivated, and this is something very, very new, something very new. It's not like we are doing our training in person. It's very new that it was happening. So you kasari garne, ke garne, no one had in the team also. No one had tried it. It was like trial and error. Huncha hudaina थाहा छैन के होला कसो होला भन्ने कुराहरु हैन है. अनि रिसोर्स पर्सन्सहरुको कुराहरु आयो. अब रिसोर्स पर्सनहरु कसरी राख्ने, उनीहरुलाई पनि अलिकति आईटी स्याभी हुनु पर्यो. यदि उनीहरुले चलाउन आएनन् भने उनीहरुको प्रेजेन्टेसनहरु कसरी गर्ने. इट मे साउन्ड भेरी स्मल थिङ, बट एउटा प्रोग्राम गरे बेलामा एउटा मान्छेले प्रेजेन्टेसन गर्न सकेन भने द होल प्रोग्राम is in trouble. So यो सब चीज गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ नि है. र अर्को कुरा मैले के भने जुन चीज पोसिबल छैन मैले सोच्दै सोचे. I did not dwell around it. I thought okay, यो चीज हुँदैन भने हुँदैन. They were saying हाम्रो के अरे अब अर्को कुरा नै इन्टरेक्सन हुन्छ कि हुँदैन. We found out कि यो भर्चुअल मिटिङबाट त सबभन्दा धेरै इन्टरेक्सन त यसैमा भयो होला. In person हुँदैन थियो. You also attended many of
I
these.
did. Rajiji, I just wanted to intervene right here to say मैले पनि attend गरे हैन DGTS, and I thought it was so successful. You did a great job in terms of over 200 people participated in one of the sessions I was. So there was so much interaction, asking questions, and then you spoke, and then you brought in international speakers to speak. अनि हजुरले जुन पोइन्टहरु भन्नुभएको छ नि, फर्स्ट यु हैव टु कीप योर माइन्ड पोजिटिभ, बिकज नेचर अफ द माइन्ड मैले के रियलाइज गरेको छु भने इट अलवेज वान्ट्स टु टेक इट टु द नेगेटिभ, के हुँदैन सक्दैन. अनि त्यसलाई चाहिँ टु ओभरराइड द्याट. सो all the youth professionals कहिले धेरै कुरा त हुन सक्दैन because there are so many challenges, roadblocks. So basically to train our mind, first of all to be aware, मेरो माइन्डले चाहिँ यसो भनिरहेछ, train our mind to think, go in the positive direction. And then you also said अहिले यो यस्तो situation nobody expected, we don't have a road map for this. अनि past successes ma you relied on that. But for young people who don't have too many past successes, what I would say is for me coming to the Rotary and other organization with people who are senior to me, like yourself, like when you're speaking now, when we can share, then people can say, oh, past successes would be also listening to other people, like how they are able to jump over those hurdles. After successes, you can rely on somebody else's successes and tag along and say, no, I will do it. Determination is another factor, I think, for leadership.
Yes, that is right. That is right. In crisis, there is no easy route to crisis. In crisis, easy battles any hudaina. Oh, youngsters ala chaina. But youngsters are maybe during the time of their education and all, at that time also they must have done something good. Sports ma they must have done something good. Class ma they must have. केही भएन भने पनि कुनै एउटा कहिले एउटा सेसनमा क्लासमा स्कुलमा या कलेजमा कसैले आन्सर दिन नसकेको प्रश्नको जवाफ पनि उले दिया हुन्छ. That also can motivate you actually. त्यो बेला पनि त मैले गर्न सकेको थिएँ नि त मलाई. So small things, or if not, like you said, you can think of others, top good leaders and a good business people who succeeded in their life. That's why I always say biography you padhirahnu parcha bhanne karan euta त्यही हो. It really motivates you. It makes you move ahead. It's like a fuel. These things are like fuel that gives you fuel, and then it makes you move. Because there's so much of challenge. अब अहिले नै मैले देखिरहेको छु Because see, what you have to realize is in Rotary, you just get 365 days. It's not like 2 years or 3 years term, okay? You cannot say as a leader, hey, you cannot say that. You are just getting that one chance, that 365 days, minus those training period, which is in this year. You know? So 365 days, if you cannot make best use of it, then you're finished, okay, that is gone. You'll never come back again. You're not going to be the district governor again, or you're not going to be the president of the club again, or whatever it is, whatever role you have taken, you know. So that is even, you know, that is even like, you know, tougher challenge, I would say. Yeah. Oh, मैले यो पालि गर्न, so कहाँ सोच्नु पर्यो भने जे छ, you know, है, thinking कि crisis is going to be difficult. Right? It's not an easy road at all. But whoever is the leader at that time, you have to make best use of it. You have to think positive. You have to come out with ideas. You have to be innovative. Whatever you have, they say, but you have to use maximum of it. I don't know, your technology null bhaida. I was thinking the other day, अहिले त यो टेक्नोलोजी भएर हामीले यत्रो भर्चुअल मिटिङ 200 300 400 500 जना पनि हामीले राख्न सक्छौं, है त प्लेटफर्म एउटा लिने हो, किन्ने हो, हैन? तर यो नभइदा अब के गर्थे हो? But most probably I was thinking maybe some alternative would have come होला, केही न केही त आउँछ होला, wherever there is cry, हैन, त आउँछ हैन, है? त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ नि यो के भन्दाखेरि this is something like, you know, you have to move ahead, you know, like you have to be transparent. You have to tell people, like, you know, this is where the crisis is. Right? You have to be like, think positive, like I said, you know, you have to be innovative. You have to, like, you know, talk in a way, like, you know, where you can convince people, you know, that people will not be able to, because now I'm seeing the presidents, they were telling me, उनीहरुको क्लबमा अहिले भर्चुअल मिटिङ हुँदाखेरि दे आर सेइङ कि हामीले रोटरीको ट्रेनिङमा जाँदाखेरि यति धेरै कहिले पनि सिकाएको थिएनौं। त्यो because of the environment, because of the ambience पनि होला, you know, all were at home, there's no side talking, all were like concentrating, you know, है? So, you know, यसले गर्दाखेरि है, so नराम्रोबाट कहिले राम्रो पनि हुँदो रहेछ के, you know, there's always a silver lining at the end of the dark cloud भने जस्तै है। अब यो silver lining हो के, dark cloud त यो अहिलेको क्राइसिस हो, हैन? यो कोभिड क्राइसिस इज द डार्क क्लाउड। तर यसको सिल्भर लाइनिङ के हो भने यो क्राइसिसको बेलामा हामीले जुन ट्रेनिङहरु दियौं, जुन रोटरीलाई हामीले मान्छे हाम्रा लिडरहरु, आउनेवाला लिडरलाई जुन चाहिँ सिकायौं, त्यो बढी इफेक्टिभ भयो, you see. So यो सब चीजहरु, if you think in that way, I always say के, है, nothing is impossible भन्छ नि, if you try it, there's nothing is impossible, हैन? Impossible भन्दा someone was telling me that I am in the beginning stands for I am possible भने जस्तै हो के, I am possible. It's like that. So, you know, it's challenging, but you know, one thing good about it is if there's no challenge, then it doesn't become exciting also. Right? अब अहिलेको बेलामा हाम्रो पहिलेको ट्रेनिङहरु हेर्नुस्, AGTS, DTTS, you know very well, PETS, DTA हुन्थ्यो। अहिले I'm having a training अहिले 12 बजेदेखि there's another training, club officers हरुको बेग्लै, after DTA also I'm doing this. I'm getting you can join next week. I'm getting some international speakers also from Rotary.
Next week?
Yeah, next week. I'll send you all the dates. So, you know, so I'm getting कहिले होला त हाम्रा लिडर्सहरुले, डिस्ट्रिक्टका रोटरियन्सहरुले चाहिँ नि RI president nominee, RI president elect, directors, हैन, है, हरुलाई चाहिँ नि सुन्न पाएको। Now I've asked the CEO of Rotary International, John Hugo, he's the CEO. He'll be giving his time very soon. I'm bringing him as a speaker. When would anybody hear RI office ko CEO, is speaking to us how the Rotary functions? So see, these are the opportunities. You came because we thought, no, this is the time. Crisis ke bela ho, commit the hour, commit the man, or commit the person. Again, man, women, why not woman? Individual. Man, woman, everybody. Because that's that. If you go in that way, त्यसरी सोचेर गयो भने
very nice. हजुर। अनि राजीव जी, अनि त्यही हो, अब त्यो famous saying छ नि, you see the glass half full or half empty हुन आउँछ, हैन? So when we see it half full, then we always look for opportunities. We find opportunities. आज एउटा खुशीको खबर सुनाउँछु हजुरलाई, being the DGE and, you know, for 2021 हाम्रो चाहिँ online induction ceremonies भइरहेछ अहिले. We are meeting every Friday morning. आज चाहिँ हाम्रो हामीसँग आबद्ध हुनुभएको कुलमान घिसिङ जी, we inducted him as the honorary member. And so talking about taking things from negative to positive, उहाँलाई पनि पहिला he shared some of his experience. पहिला बिजुली थिएन, 18 घण्टा light would be out in Nepal, अनि उहाँलाई यो कसरी सम्भव हुने जस्तो पनि भएको होला अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ one man was able to make such a lot of difference bringing electricity to our town to our country भन्नु पर्ला. So we are so honored to induct him this morning as an honorary member. And he said he's never been part of any Rotary. He had never been to any Rotary meetings except as a guest speaker here and there for events. But आजको Rotary meeting full-fledged 1.5 hour को हाम्रो थियो अनि he really enjoyed meeting everyone. So Kulman Gisingji is quite a public figure in Nepal. So we are really pleased to invite him today and hear his success story. Okay? So यस्तो यस्तो व्यक्तिहरु चाहिँ हाम्रो अब resource pool मा चाहिँ हाम्रो Rotary Club of Kathmandu को. So what we are doing is like people from health, education, NGO, international organizations like UN, WHO, civil society, art and literature. So we are honing on their experiences to bring it to the young professionals group. So people can, like you said, rely on their success stories when things don't go right and pick yourself up again.
See, that's why I say, when would you have ever thought of inducting somebody virtually? It happened. That's why necessity is the mother of invention.
Very good.
This is what it is. Necessity is the mother of invention. When there's necessity, when there's crisis, then you start thinking of all this. We used to laugh. Maybe you could have asked his mother or his wife or somebody, okay, do that on our, So, it's something different, but it's good. Everybody would enjoy it. Naya cheese na sabele enjoy garchhan. So, your crisis le naya cheese ल्याएपछि नि मान्छेले automatically motivate पनि हुन्छ, interest पनि बढ्छ. यो कसरी गर्दो रहेछ भनेर. I remember there was a president who told me, sir, a very senior figure, age-wise, he was very senior. Right? He called me after the PETS was over and congratulated me, and he said, "Ki, म त पहिला त यो curious भएर नि curiosity ले नि मैले join गरे. कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ त यो? ओ मेरो नातिनाले गरिराखे मैले देखाएको थिएँ. मैले त कहिले गरेको थिइनँ. नातिलाई ल्याएर मलाई join गर्दै भने तपाईले त पठाउनु भयो. नातिले join गर्दाखेरि त मलाई त अचम्म लाग्यो. मैले त यस्तो कहिले देखेको पनि थिइनँ. He was not at all IT shabby. He had no idea. He said, म त खाली फोन उठाएर hello भनेर राख्ने बाहेक म के पनि जान्दिनँ हेर्नुस्. And he's going to be the leader of our club, which is all right, but he managed it, see. So, and then now what happened is he's got motivated. I feel motivated by, you got a time. And they even said to me, there's so many who said to me, कि त्यो प्रोग्राम सकेपछि 2-4 दिन त उनीहरुलाई शून्य लाग्यो रे. अब के गर्ने, आज बिहान उठेपछि आज के गर्ने भने जस्तो लाग्यो रे के. हरेक दिन एउटा ट्रेनिङ 4 दिन 5 दिनको भइराखे भएर त्यो 4-5 दिन सकिएर फेरि आउँदाखेरि त उनीहरुलाई भोलिपल्ट भने there was nothing, उनीहरुलाई शून्य लाग्यो. हो यस्तो ट्रेनिङ फेरि भइदिए पनि हुन्थ्यो भने. So you see, these are the things, crisis ko belama, you have to move ahead, you have to push yourself, you have to push your people, you can do it. It's everybody. You just have to be in positive mind, you have to be calm, you have to think, you have to get your team correctly, it can happen. For some people, they'll say, hey, training today. IT shabby guy must be thinking, what this guy did, nothing. It's just, we do that every day, yes. But what you have to realize is out of 125 leaders, I don't think even 25 were IT shabby here. They had never used this the woo. I mean, I'm an IT shabby guy. I know, but I had never done this virtual sort of meeting, virtual trainings, So it makes a difference,
Rajib, like the topic itself, inspirational leadership, especially in uncertain times, the examples you use. So you're a perfect example of exactly the title we use today. Uncertain time, how you inspire other people and inspire yourself, because if you start to give up, you moved on and you said, no, had the determination, we will learn, we'll be innovative, we'll be creative, and you didn't give up. Even though people said, you kasari huncha virtual bhandakeri, then more opportunities came. 200 plus people could join. Aba aja hamro tyo induction pani Kulmanji, even though he then agreed, but in the real time frame, I mean, he couldn't have time to come for induction, but virtually it was easy for him to join from his home office.
Yeah.
So
I'm talking, there were a lot of clubs who were telling me for their installation. I don't know, it's going to open in July. So what I've done, let's do virtual installation. Let's try it, let's do it. In that way, I can manage in three installations, whereas in person, I could have managed only one. Now I can manage 3 installations in one day.
Maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more. What I've told the president is, fellowship, yes, that is also important. Let this be over. We'll have a big bang, big party somewhere. We'll get together and, that big fellowship, that can always happen. तर अहिले त हाम्रो काम त we have to work, we have to give that information, we have to give that, the things that they require to become a leader, all those things. And this I found was the best platform. So of the crisis there's no crisis okay, so health wise and you have to be careful. But yo jun training wise jun paile मैले crisis भन्टाने थिए त्यो छैन. RI president आएन त so what, virtually त आयो. President nominee आएन त so what, virtually त आयो. Directors हरू आएनन् त so what, virtually त आयो. So you have to take, think that way.
हजुर, आउने दिनहरुमा पनि like into the future अस्ति हजुरकै ट्रेनिङमा चाहिँ GTTS मा RI ले उताहरुले पनि भनिराख्नु भएको थियो. So majority, not majority, but certain portion of the training, the meetings for Rotaries could really happen virtually, हैन? खाली project sites मा जाँदाखेरि you
Yes.
go in person, but this kind of training, because हाम्रो पनि weekly meetings मा we had members logging in from Bangkok, Singapore, Delhi, and they said like whenever we are traveling with work now, we can have the actual meeting, we can have virtual meeting, we can invite people from wherever they are, because हाम्रो Rotary Club we have a lot of traveling members. So now and participation has been like great. पहिला यति हुन्थ्यो भने अहिले चाहिँ यति भइरहेछ participation.
In person participation भन्दा virtual participation बढी भइरहेछ.
Yes, yes. And then it's economical too. You save time, you save money, you save your petrol. So very economical also.
Okay, that's a very good point which I missed out actually. Financial part. There are a lot of criticism about धेरै पैसा खर्च गर्नुपर्छ, especially coming for the training. मान्छे अब काठमाडौँमा गरे भने they have to come from all बाहिरबाट, या भैरवमा गरे भनेदेखि विराटनगरदेखि काठमाडौँदेखि they have to travel to Bhairava. So there's a lot of cost that was involved. Here it's free of cost. So that is what I told all the presidents. Okay, fine, you people save so much. त्यसको 50% जुन तपाईले जति बचाउनु भएको छ यो वर्ष ट्रेनिङबाट तपाईको क्लबका हरुले त्यसको 50% चाहिँ नि फाउन्डेसनलाई कन्ट्रिब्युट गरिदिनुस् भनेको छु के. So that's another way of motivating them. Okay, you keep 50%. If I tell them contribute 100% भन्यो भने अनि हामीलाई के बच्यो त भन्ना. ल भाइ यो 100% तपाईले 50% तपाई बचाउनुस्, 50% चाहिँ नि जति बचाउनु भो त्यसको 50% चाहिँ नि फाउन्डेसनमा कन्ट्रिब्युट गरिदिनुस्. At least foundation also will get some money. So that's how you have to look in the positive side of it.
Yes, Rajiv, I know a few minutes. I know you have to go to your next meeting, but I just wanted to ask you. So many other organizations, so many. I mean, you are like traveled, you've experienced, but why Rotary, and what's your Rotary story in like a nutshell?
Rotary story, I don't know. Rotary story is like I became a Rotarian very reluctantly. It's amazing. Like I became a reluctant because my uncle, my late, he was a Rotarian from Rotary Club of Kathmandu, Take Chandra Pokhrel. He had thought of opening a club, and then he called me and he said, join the club. I was in the peak of my career. I had started my own business. I was doing so many things. And I said, what is this Rotary all about? And he told me the story of Rotary. And I said, not interested. So I could not say no to him. So I lied to him actually. Later on, which I told him, I lied to you. I told him I've joined another club, and I did not join at all. But later on, then, I saw, the Facebook had just started, like and the people were sharing all those photos and all. So I saw these friends having all these luncheon parties, dinners, all those fellowships, and that's what attracted. Oh my God, these people are having fun. And that my club had few of my college friends, school friends also were there. So I said, then I started to feel like initially more bhagi hirdथे कसैले मलाई बोलाउला भनेर, तर पछि चाहिँ नि मैले लाग्यो कि मलाई कसले बोलाइदियोस् जस्तो भइरहेको थियो. Finally they called me, I got in. And I got in, then I never thought, I'll be all this. Then once I got in, I became the second year name, secretary secretary, I had to give a presentation during the district governor's visit. When I gave a presentation, district governor visit, it was during Tikaman, the first district governor. I was the secretary. And someone told me, what, the way you are speaking, the district governor banna laeko manche cha. I thought he was like, just fooling around, just pulling my leg. Then later on, slowly, then Dhirendra Daiko Belama, he called me for a training. And then there were people watching. They said, oh, you can be a good trainer. Then I got motivated. My own is like self-motivated. Then I was speaking on the program. There were a few people from India who came in. Then they saw me speaking and they said, you are a candidate for a governor. So, that what motivated me. So slowly I started to manage time from my work also, to motivate bhayepachi somehow or the other you manage time. And slowly now it's just my Rotary thing is only about 15 years. This is my 15th year in Rotary actually. I'm not very senior member also. I'm not a very old member also. I've not been for a very long time. But so I think it was self-motivation. People just saying few things about me. It's just a self-motivation. But having said this, I'm not trying to say I'm the best or more. I don't. Since you asked me, this is how I got into it, and so it was
So 15 years,
mainly of a self-motivation.
15 years, Rajivji, three things that you really grasped out of Rotary, or three things that you gained from it.
Of course, first and foremost, of course, the networking. I don't think I would. I was a person who was educated Nepal Vaida. So I didn't have a very good, public relation. I had good friends in India, the Nepal, very limited friends. So that networking, number one. Right? Number two, self-confidence. Self-confidence. I never thought I would be able to stand in front of even 10 people and speak, but now I can speak
I
like
cannot believe that.
I could not even speak. But that's something I know. So that's your personality development, networking, personality development, and of course the leadership quality. That's how I develop. Because this is a very different leadership. I'm running many business organizations, but there the leadership is different because you're paying to those people, and then you can demand from those people. Why? Because they are in salary. You're paying them salary. But here you cannot demand. We are all in the same platform. You cannot say, I am the governor, so you better listen to me. No one's going to listen to you. I am the president, you better listen to me. No one is going to listen to you. You need to motivate them. You need to make them feel good. You need to make them feel important. You see, in office, you don't need to do that. You can just order and say, no, this is what I like. मलाई यो मन पर्यो गर्नु पर्यो भने त स्टाफले गर्छ किन उसको जागिरको कुरा छ तर यहाँ त त्यो छैन नि यहाँ त you have to motivate, and they are all in the same level. Even the people and most of them are senior to me. So I have to be very motivational, inspiring stories, make them feel good. Unless and until you don't make somebody feel good, he or she will not perform. You have to make them feel good. Okay, you are important, you can do this, right? So two hisabले गर्यो भनेदेखि I think. So I always call this more like a servant leadership. Rotary, it's a servant leadership. You cannot say, okay, I'm the district governor, no. But if you bow down and say, okay, come on, you are capable of doing it. I have full confidence in you, and I have full faith in you. I know you can perform. I'll tell you, 99.9% of the people will perform. So so it's different. It's so different. It's challenging. So that leadership quality, I think I developed only here. Now I was used to ordering people. Yoga. Now I'm more enthused to motivating people and having things done. काम त उताबाट पनि गराउने हो यता पनि गराउने नै हो अफिसमै स्यालेरी तिरेर आफ्नो काम गराउने नै हो यहाँ पनि मोटिभेट गरेर आफ्नो काम गराउने काम त गराउने हो एट द एन्ड रिजल्ट त के हो is the work that needs to be done, is the goal that needs to be achieved. But how you do it, see, there is two different things. So leadership has many qualities and many the different ways of leadership, and this is one of them.
Also making people feel like they are belonging to something, right?
Yes, that's what I
said. Then important. They take the responsibility.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It's so important.
Sense of belonging.
Yes. Now यहाँ कसैले पनि सुन्दैन. हाम्रो रोटरीमा हाम्रो सोसाइटीका क्रिम व्यक्तिहरू छन्. हाम्रो सोसाइटी Nepalese society worldwide हेरौँ न हाम्रो रोटरियन्सहरू. They are all cream, top industrialists, top businessmen, top bureaucrats, top police, top army, retired होला नि या on उ होला नि हैन. आज तपाईले Kulman Gising would have thought he would come to Rotary. Now he's in Rotary. And he's a reputed person. He's a public figure. They post my agadi bhaka व्यक्तित्वहरु public figure थिएनन्. They were just Nepal, but he became a public figure because he got rid of a big crisis of the country, or a ठुलो crisis त त्यो उले हटायो. So now he's become a public figure. So who would have thought he'll join Rotary? See, so those sort of people join this organization. So you cannot order. You have to motivate them. You have to be good to them, make them feel good. All those things. That's how it works. I'm trying to do that. I know I'm not the best, but I'm trying to do that.
And I really want to wish you the very best. And each of us, whatever we 5,000 Rotarians, 5,000 plus Rotarians in Nepal. So we all will do our best to help you during your tenure. And thank you so much again for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope I have been up to your satisfaction.
Yes, absolutely. It was lovely
thank you so much for having me. And I know you are in my team for next year also. So I have expected a lot from you. So I always feel that, among the ladies, you are one of those person who could come up the ladder very quickly. You've got that capacity. I've seen that, as a president, I've seen you running the club and the programs that you have done. and how active you are. So, so fantastic. So thank you very much for having me here, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Wish you best also. Thank you, Rajib. Thank you.